All right. Hey, look, it's live. It just needed to be turned off and turned on again. Oh my fuck. Okay, I hope this works for everybody. Did I just kill it?
I don't know.
No, okay, here it is. All
Still
right.
here.
So, in the new studio, in the third spare bedroom, going to try this podcast thing. Had to rewire all that shit. This room is like this big. Like I can touch. I'm touching the wall. Right? I'm touching the wall. Okay. So
Now you see.
I hope this sounds okay. If not, definitely hop in the chat and be like, yo, turn that bitch down. Not you, but like this bitch here. This bitch of shit I spent like the last 2 days trying to set up. Oh, all right. This is going to record.
I organized that shit.
That's right. That was very helpful, except for all the strings around everything. That was kind of hard to deal with, but I dealt with it because I'm a man. That's what I do. I deal with shit. So, all right.
I'm talking about organizing that shit before that shit even made it in here.
Yeah.
Organizing your shit show.
Okay. Shh.
All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure in the amazing year 400 billion.
Obscene, dirty, filthy, immoral.
What are you people? On dope?
Welcome to the Jam. Today's Thursday, January 22nd, 2015, and my name is Matt.
And BJ.
What's up, BJ?
Oh, not much.
Did I meet the right one? All right. What's up? What's up, internet? All right, cool. Back here in the new studio on some new stuff, on that new shit. Had a wonderful time in Las Vegas at CES. Snowmobile trip, all sorts of stuff to talk about. Check us out live, thejamhole.com/live. It's set up differently, so if it sounds whack, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, hop in the chat there, thejamhole.com/live, and let us know, and I will adjust it. So first, last we spoke, it was like December, middle of December. Yeah.
When we talked to Duncan on the phone.
That's right. Before
and we were like, what the fuck? You gonna be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Not 4 days?
And then he was. And then there was a snowmobile trip. And so on the way there, like I completely hit a bunch of deer in the road. Like they were, it was like that shooting gallery thing when the ducks go and you shoot them and then they go back the other way. Like there was some facing
Duck
some
hunt?
way. No, at like the carnivals. They have little metal things and they're like going this way and then you shoot them and they ding and then they go back. You never saw that?
Oh my God.
Never mind.
I know what you're talking about, but-
They were walking like crossing the street, like a whole row of them. And it was kind of snowy out, not too bad. And I just like instinct kicked in. And I thought back to my days of playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And they always like, you got to go through the cop checkpoint barriers that they set up, the roadblocks, and you always want to aim like they'll be parked hood to hood, right? Like deer nose to nose, right? You don't want to go where they're ass to ass because then you're just gonna hit like a giant body and wreck your shit like a bunch. So face to face, not ass to ass. And so I kind of like nudged the wheel just ever so slightly because I was driving and it was a little snowy out maybe, and I shot right through the gap of head to heads. Didn't hit ass to ass or bodies or anything, but I knocked two heads, one on each side of the car. The poor neon, no headlights, like a busted windshield, and it's snowing and just miserable. And so I look at my phone hoping that I have cell coverage, which I do. It's like right outside of Bonner's.
Yay.
And I also have Scooby, Duncan's dog.
You had Duncan's dog?
Yeah, that dog slept through like this whole ordeal. The only time he woke up once and started barking is when the second cop pulled me over. And because like the door definitely didn't open after the deer hit it. There was like fur stuck in the handle and everything. Like it was a mess. And the window didn't roll down from before. Like the actuator snapped because it was like 10 degrees out.
But
And
they're fixing that right now.
that's right. That's getting fixed right now. But it wasn't at the time. And so like I get pulled over the first time. I call and Duncan comes back and everything. And I start following him. And I get pulled over and he stops, you know, so that we can see what's up. And this lady comes over, this lady cop chick. And I'm like, God, go to the other side. Please don't shoot me. But the door and the window both like are not functioning right now at all. So I'm like, and she kind of sees the damage, obviously, and probably the fur and everything sticking out of the car, like the side mirrors just hanging there. It was a sad state of affairs. But so she looks it over and she's like, all right, you're okay. You know, where are you going? This and that, license and registration and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just following this guy up here, hit some deer. Everything's fine though. She's like, okay. And then on our way we go. And like maybe 15 miles, I get pulled over again. This time, like Duncan and Rachel, they did not stop. They kept going. And I come to find out later, they had pretty good reason to not want to have the cop like come over there and check maybe, you know. I don't want to condone driving while drinking, but it's a long drive, you know. What are you gonna do? No, you shouldn't do that ever, especially on a long drive where your friend hit deer in his car because he was sober and you were.
Yeah, that should be sobering your shit up. Like your friend hit something, you're supposed to be there and
like
responsible.
Hiding beer cans under the car in case the cop like comes over there to talk to him. No, it was all right. And so the second one, like he pulled me over, and apparently as he was pulling me over, he heard over the radio that this car had already been pulled over, and to not, you know, they're fine. It's fine. Everything's completely fine. But I guess you can't just like start pulling somebody over and then be like, oh, I'm just kidding. Never mind. Like in Super Troopers or whatever. And he just pulls you over and then like takes off again.
That's false. They can't do that.
That would have tripped me the fuck out. And actually that was the time like he comes over and I'm like, other side. And then Scooby like wakes up and starts barking. I'm like, oh my God, dude. It's going to put this pit bull down. I'm going to get shot for some reason. I don't know. I just hit like 2 deer. Oh, Duncan did mention too that when he came to get me the first time and to turn around, there was a minivan stopped and the fool had already gotten out and begun to field dress the deer to like take it home. I guess it was a clean kill. So I helped feed family.
Well, a headshot. And you,
two. Boom, headshot. Boom.
That's the best way to kill one is a headshot.
Yeah, no, I did. It definitely was a good clean headshot. So at least they got fed. So I ended up, then it just started dumping and we're like, all right, we will worry about the car later. Came here to snowmobile, going to get our snowmobile on. So we go snowmobile and everything. Totally awesome place up there. It's called Roman Nose or something. And his dad came up with, and yeah, it snowed the whole time, but it was great. And on the way back, like we almost slid off into the ditch. Like a really steep ditch. Like I heard his dad say, oh fuck. And his dad like he doesn't usually cuss. But I saw him like kind of take his hands off the wheel and like start to maybe want to put it in reverse real quick. But then we just kind of slowed, and yeah, they had chains. It was amazing to watch because I'm not a mountain man per se. Like I'll snowmobile and I'll snowboard and do all that shit. But like if we get stuck, I don't know how to put chains on. I'm probably, if I have to and can't call AAA, like I'll change a spare if I need to, but I'm not like, it's not very good at it. It's not my preference. If your phone like freezes, I could probably help you fix that better than I could change a tire or something. But so it was a sight to behold, to watch these two mountain men get out and like instantly be like, boom, let's get the chains on the front so we can get out of here. And then, he put them on the back. To get out, and they put them on the front as we were going down the hill so we could actually steer a little bit because it was pretty icy. Like I was having a hard time standing up. Like your boots hit the ice and you just want to fall. Like it was really slick. Like we almost went down the ditch. But yeah, it was cool to watch them like do all that, and then we were on our way. So Ended up being stuck there until like Tuesday. I was supposed to be back that Sunday, but couldn't get a windshield, and then the headlights didn't work. So by the time it was fixed, it was like 3 o'clock, and there's no way I would have been able to make it back with the headlights working. So I had to
This
stay.
is the sad story part that he just has to tell
Yeah,
you. But really, he
while I
got to
was
do
there,
more
I got to
snow.
snowmobile more, and then I also saw the new Hobbit movie, which was awesome. So yeah,
You saw the new Hobbit movie?
I did. It was pretty good.
Fuck you.
I'll go see it again. It was like a 4-hour ordeal.
They always are.
Yeah. And it was cool after having freed so many slaves in Shadows of Mordor
Oh god.
to like see the actual the film.
How that actually really
So-
went down.
We never did get the clutch put in. Duncan came down and we started like looking at it, and he got like really not frustrated, but really like, we're not
This
gonna
is-
have enough time.
There's not enough
to
time
do
in our
all
day.
this. Yeah. And
We
so,
cannot
and
do
that's
this.
fine. My mom actually found a gentleman on Craigslist who is
Very nice.
doing the clutch on the Neon and fixing the door right now. We got a hood ordered and some headlights and a fender, and then it'll be almost good as new. The door still has a little dent in it and probably some fur hanging out still, but one thing at a time. Important thing is headlights. Gotta get the headlights in.
It's daylight on the car.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then so yeah, that happens. And then I come back and find out that one of our friends had OD'd, like I guess on purpose, accidentally on purpose. I don't know. You don't like take a whole bunch of fentanyl and not know like what you're doing. And I understand like it sucks. Sometimes life sucks and you just want to end it. And some people have more chutzpah than others in ending it. And yeah. It's interesting what happens when something like that happens, and then you're in a coma, you're pretty much dead, you're brain dead, but you're plugged into a machine and everything. And to watch, like before we never had Facebook or any of these things that everyone is on conversating. So before, these kinds of things would be left to, in person, like, all right, well, I guess we gotta either find $50, $100 billion, $1,000 to keep him alive for the next 3 weeks and see if he maybe pulls out. Because sure, sometimes people do that. I feel like if you don't have the will to live, you're less likely to do that in that sort of situation. But of course, once you're brain dead, you're fucking brain dead. So to like see all of that would usually be taking place behind the scenes, and to kind of see, and not all of it, like it was respectful. But there was a little of it on Facebook that kind of made it into the more public sphere, and it was kind of interesting to watch. Like, do we do this? Do we wait? He wanted to go, but no, he should wait, and it was a weird thing to watch. So that was a while ago. So he's definitely gone by now. Hopefully, enjoying something better than what this is. But yeah, it was a weird thing to watch and to see like everyone that came out of the woodwork, I guess.
You had an opinion on it?
Yeah. Everybody has an opinion on things like that when it's time to happen. I hope you all are completely aware that if any of that shit ever happens, I mean, like if I break a bone, if I have kidney stones, anything like that, just DNR. I'm not peeing rocks out of my dick.
Okay,
I've
first
seen
of all,
Deadwood.
you do not have the do not resuscitate because you're still
No,
alive. You're still
I'm
breathing.
gonna get it tattooed on me, so DNR.
Well, did we get that? Okay, got that.
I'll get a DUFW or a DNFW, which is the do not fuck with, and then after that we'll have the DNR, which is the do not really fuck with. No, I watched Deadwood, and that really changed my eagerness to pee out rocks. I get like our modern medical. I don't give a shit. Like there's a rock in there that needs to make its way out of your pee hole. That's not happening. So far, so good. I mean, I'm almost 35, I think. Yeah, 35. So that's good.
Congratulations.
I haven't yet so far. What the fuck have you been doing in that section? Then we'll kind of talk about CES. Is there anything you wanted to mention?
In that section? No, really. I've just been doing nothing.
Just hanging out.
I've been stressing behind the scenes.
dealing cards, keeping everything together.
Went to Bartender's New Year down in Missoula.
Nice. How was that?
Good. Kind of bounced a dude out. It was kind of cool.
Were you working?
No, I went there to the poker room,
Ah.
and Brad bought me in, just had me come down there and chill. And this guy was just really loud and obnoxious. And Chief, who yes, he is Native American,
Sure.
was up in the front, like, bouncing out most of the bar. And
Was it
this-
like closing time? Or
yes,
was it
there
just-
was. Yeah, the
that
poker room
ruckus?
has a door back there that you can come through and go out of. It's the back door.
right.
But
The back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they weren't going. They were, trying to talk to people. It's like, nope, you gotta get out. And Brad, he's like this timid little, you gotta go, you gotta leave.
Excuse me, sir.
It's
Sir,
time to go. Can you
you
put your
guys-
drink over there? And I'm like, okay,
Get
it's it is past 2:00. This is Bartender's New Year. Most of us here have worked in bars. You should know to get your ass out and get out now.
right? Like that crowd especially.
It-
That's
yeah,
like
it's
people that work
exclusive.
at restaurants.
It was an exclusive. You had to have a ticket,
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking serious? These are people that do this for a living. Why the fuck are you tormenting someone else when you get so pissed off when
New Year's. Woo!
Yeah, and how'd you feel when you had to do that on New Year's?
Yeah. Me?
Wait, no.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I
The
didn't
ones
do
that are
that.
the
New
biggest
Year's-
dicks, I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
they find out who did that. Come into their bar a couple of busy nights and just fucking be a pain in their ass right at the end of the night.
Well, I'm
Even
sure-
if they
I'm
don't
sure.
drink, just go in there. And just,
People that work at restaurants will do that too. Like if you go in and see a place is closing, but they're still serving, like you're supposed to just keep serving, but that fucking sucks. And you know how bad that sucks. So you will find a different place generally. I would imagine that situation would be the same, except for once you get alcohol introduced into that mix, then it's fucking spring break, bro.
But it's past that. You aren't, like, it's been cut off. You were supposed to be out of the bar 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, you're in here now past the time that could get all of us fucked, because you could get, anyone in here. We all have the same licenses.
Yep. I should mention, Sword and Scale started up again, their new season. It's Mike Boudet from Am I Bugging You, our homie that, if you remember a long time ago,
Yes.
sent us the big purple dong. Still appreciate that. But yeah, if you listen to the new episode of season 2, episode 33, you'll notice that a song off the Polici Chronicles is on there. So that's pretty cool. Sounds pretty neat hearing that on like another show, especially one that's actually popular. So word to that. Sword and Scale, definitely check it out. New season so far, fucking great. I don't know how he does that. I spend quite a bit of time producing shows and none of them come out near this good. Like really, really good job on it. Site looks good. Everything looks good. So swordandscale.com, definitely check out our homie Mike's show. It's true crime. You know how people feel about true crime, especially now,
I might have to start watching that.
especially nowadays.
I have not seen that yet.
So went to CES. So that was your first Vegas trip. And I should
Yes.
mention, if you go to Google Plus or whatever, there's albums that you guys can see. There's like a bunch of pictures. Mom let us borrow this Canon EOS, this like nice actual like professional looking snapshot camera. It's like a big lens and all this. So I was kind of like running around with that thing. Like, oh man, so great. I took so many stupid pictures. of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And most of them you can find on our Google Plus albums there. But-
Yeah, I was totally okay with the ones on the Google Plus. There's a couple that you put out there on the making snow video thingy that
Oh, I Google picked those. I had no part in that. The trailer, we'll talk about that. But yeah, there's a trailer for this film called Snow. The trailer is called The Making
like
of
just
Snow.
just like
The video is all video. It's not pictures. The pictures are in the trailer, which is what Google picked. You're probably talking about that one.
or is
review
it
where
off
you're
of
like,
Bob?
"Ah!"
No,
So-
not that one. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Bob may have posted pictures. That's what you get for taking nudie pictures with.
There
the
were
EOS.
not those.
So like glamour shot, titties, but no, that camera takes some amazing pictures though. I'm really glad that we have it. But yeah, so like the we get there, we get on the plane, and the plane's late, and then the plane has to go to Great Falls, which is like literally a 20-minute plane flight to get more fuel and take off on a longer stretch of runway, I guess, which is weird that Great Falls has a longer runway than Glacier Airport, but
Well, because ours was all
whatever.
frozen.
Right. Also, which they said you need more length in your runway if it's cold because it shrinks. It gets stage fright. It's like, gonna need more fuel for that fire, buddy. So we sit on the fucking plane for like, it had to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just sitting there waiting, watching the snow just continually fall. And at the end of this storm, there was like a good foot, almost 2 feet. Like it made the studio kind of start leaking, which is why we're in here. But yeah, they're de-icing and plowing and all this shit, and we finally take off and like for 20 minutes, and then we land again in Great Falls. And then of course we got to sit there and wait for more time. But lucky for us, the always famous, always lovely Wayne Newton was on the plane, which is amazing. I've seen that guy like 10 times here. I used to go out to eat at Buns on the Lake. You guys know what that place is. He would be in there like every other time I was in there. It seemed like just enjoying his meal. You know, Wayne
Well,
Newton
he
just
obviously likes to eat there.
hanging out. Well, yeah, it's just a weird occurrence that like he is the one that I keep running into here, like just randomly like that. But yeah, so we finally get there, take off, and land in Vegas like 4 hours later than we should have, which was awesome because then I couldn't get the badge there, so we had to make a special trip for that, and got to the hotel at like 4 a.m, which was fun. But
And I finally slept.
yeah, drug you through the airport, just killing it. You travel. I thought I thought we might have some problems with you traveling. You've traveled well to like festivals, fair, and everything, but traveling on planes is a little different, a little different. But you did well. You did really well. So thank you for not making me want to leave you there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
You did good. You did much better than other people that have gone on trips to Las Vegas. No, you held up really well.
Well, you want to have extra space, but you never want to go a place fully packed
No,
because
I go half cocked, like a quarter packed.
because
If at
you
all.
never know what you're gonna return with. Maybe there was a palm tree that you liked so much in your fucking hotel room
Maybe
that you ditched the rest of your clothes because you have plenty more at home and fucking packed a palm tree.
maybe I brought a giant stingray back with me. You don't know. Did all of that cool stuff at all of these gift shops that you would exit through after going on whatever it is that
I
you're
brought a
going
lot
on.
of pennies back.
Yeah, that was fine though because pennies, they're small. They pack easy. I tried to bring a Rockstar back, left it in my bag.
They weren't having it.
No, he was
None of
on
it.
that shit. He's like, hold up.
Is
Whose-
there some liquid in
Whose
this bag?
motherfucking bag is this? Is that more than 4 fluid ounces? What the fuck?
You can have it if you want to go back out there and drink
I
that.
would love to go back to the back of your giant line here, sir, and for this. I'll pay $8 for the one through here. Thanks.
So he hands it to him. Not only does he hands it to him and tells him you need to throw it in the trash can. Doesn't throw it away for him.
No, that killed me.
That was
I'll tell
fucked.
you. It's like being like, yeah, here's your heroin. Go ahead and just flush it down that toilet now. Like, no, don't make me do that. You do it, you dick. But yeah, so we finally got there and got checked in and shit. And the next day, like, we're just walking down the street, taking some pictures, just fucking around, you know, letting BJ see parts of the strip and everything.
I've never been to Vegas.
Yeah, so it was cool, just like wandering around sightseeing and everything. And we see this like weird car just kind of stopped at this light, and I'm like, oh, cool, taking pictures and whatever. Didn't think anything of it really, and you know, we finished our little tour and made it back to the hotel, and I started looking through all the pictures, and I come to this picture, and I'm like, huh, Pocket Man. It's like, I wonder what that is. It's a cool looking car. It's this Polaris Slingshot that I come to find out. And so I look on the website and it's like, hey, this guy's in Las Vegas for CES. If you want to ride in the car, contact him. I'm like, no fucking way, really? So I like send an email to this guy, and it ends up being like the guy from Scotty Vests, which makes like all these cool tech vests and sweatshirts and hoodies and shit that have pockets, like all these pockets for all your shit. And I guess the Pocket Man thing is like this rebranding he's trying to do. So I emailed him and I'm like, hey, I want to drive this thing or ride in it or whatever. And he emails me back and he's like, why should I let you? Like, why you, you know? And I wrote
His
him back,
answer. Oh my God.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, because I'm awesome and I have a Polaris snowmobile that's awesome. And like, I think this would be really cool. And like the next day he's like, all right, here's where I'll be. Like, come meet me. And so I'm like, dude, because Ant's with me. We're covering stuff there and everything. I'm like, dude, that guy totally wrote me back and he's like, come find me. He's over here doing this like TechCrunch thing. And so he's like, all right, let's go. And we start like kind of going there and we found him. And then he ended up having to go to this other thing real quick before we could leave. So he's like running and shit. And he kind of looks back at me. And at this time we had lost Ant because they have crossing guards that only let so many people go through. Otherwise it's just, there's so many people in that area. Like, cars would not be able to go if there were not crossing guards. So I'm like trying to follow this guy running with my bag and everything, and Ant's behind, and he goes, and right as the crossing guard is like, no more. And I'm like, I'm not stopping. I totally like went through and they totally stopped Ant, which is really impressive if you know Ant, because he's a big dude.
That's impressive that they like didn't pull you back and, and then him fly by you.
Was in back of me, and somehow they like got him to stop, but I made it right through. And so I just followed.
You were on a mission.
Yeah, no, I was.
That's
sure.
exactly.
I was like,
why.
I want to drive this thing, or you know, at least ride in it. Like, that'd be badass.
This must happen.
This is happening for sure.
I will find Ant later. It's okay.
Like, yeah,
He'll be here.
He totally turned around. He's like, you don't have to follow me to this. Like, we can meet up after. I'm like, I'm cool. Go for it. He's like, well, if you want to take pictures or whatever while I'm doing it, like I could use some pictures of this. I was like, yeah, cool. I can do that. No problem. And so we get to this thing and he does this like half hour. It's kind of like Shark Tank. It was for TechCrunch startups. They do like this startup battlefield kind of thing, kind of like in the show Silicon Valley, but like serious. So he was one of the judges on there. Yeah, I just kind of sat there for like half hour waiting for this and like taking pictures and just kind of watching this startup thing happen. And Ant's like, man, I got stopped at the crosswalk. He's texting me. He's like, you just go do your thing and I'll finish covering whatever and we'll meet up later. I was like, all right.
Was that when you guys covering the HTC thing out there with those weird little cameras?
No, that was the next day. But yeah, that was part of, we had to go back to that every day and like take pictures and do all that fun stuff.
Because I just remember we got there and you guys were taking pictures and
there was Elvis.
No, I didn't make it to that point.
Oh, okay.
Ant came back. We all met up later. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. We were taking pictures, and I turned around, and you was just gone. You was nowhere to be found.
Completely disappeared.
I'm like, yep.
That's good, though. You had some wandering to do. You had some stores to go pillage.
I did good.
So this thing finishes, and I follow him out to the parking lot or whatever, and he's like, so do you want to drive it? I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, go for it. I got a bunch of stuff on my phone to do. So just, we got an hour to kill. Go drive us around somewhere where the car will get seen, like kind of a PR thing. Right. So I'm like, all right. And I look in it and it's like, I mean, there's a ton of pictures online of it. If you want to look it up, it's called Polaris Slingshot, but it's like one wheel in the back, two in the front, and it's totally open, totally like not a winter weather vehicle or anything. No heaters, no like nothing like that. Just a little fucking bike. It's classified as a motorcycle in some states. And so it's 5-speed clutch and everything. And like I see that and I get really nervous because like my car's been wrecked. I haven't really driven a clutch in a minute. I mean, I've driven tons before, but it's like it's one of these and it's this guy, like the CEO of this company and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking stall this thing like a jackass or something and totally embarrass myself. But no, once I got over that, like hopped in and just started driving it, and it just was like second nature. This car bike thing.
He had a little trouble when he came back driving.
Yeah, a little bit. And then there was like a recall on some of like the wheel bearings that affect the steering. I guess you were like not supposed to be driving them anymore. They're replacing all of this, but yeah, I didn't know that till afterwards. Like they had released the recall right after I got back, and I was reading about it, doing some research for my article. I'm like, oh shit, they're like, this could cause the steering to malfunction at any time. Of like he ends up letting me, driving around a little bit after a couple of days of, taking him to places and showing him that I'm a good driver. He like told me, he's like, you're one of the better drivers.
A couple days after
I was
stealing my boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
I
that
was
went
going to
down.
be working anyway, and you fucking knew that. So.
And no.
You
I'm
could've
bringing
dealt
up
with
the
that.
stealing my boyfriend thing because he was so awesome as to get out of the car and be like, "Hun, I'm really sorry that I took up all your time with him."
Yeah, it was a little more time than I would have probably put in, like just covering CES. But
It definitely was. But
I think he made up for it by letting us take the car for a few hours.
It was just the way, like,
we
he
had to run
was-
some errands. Sure, had to find a Best Buy. That's fine. Ended up having to eat at an Olive Garden, which was cool to have that thing parked there, but it sucked to have to go to an Olive Garden. But it was all right.
I don't know. The Olive Garden experience was pretty great.
The
We
waiter
had
was
a
badass.
phenomenal waiter.
And there was this other waiter that had like this massive like handlebar mustache. And he gave a nod. I was wearing the Cunnilinguist shirt, the hip hop group, and he gave a nod to the shirt. And I was like, aha, I have download cards of the Polici Chthonic Chronicles. I was like, here you go, homie, check this out. Some hip hop that I made from Montana. And then off into the slingshot, like we're just famous rappers. And it was pretty badass. And then
He handed the second one that Matt had handed to the whichever guy was right behind us. He's like, "You like my kind of shit, so you're gonna totally like this." And like, you've got to have it. Like,
Yeah, that's how that shit spreads. That was awesome.
it was so neat. And God, our waiter, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's been
he
a
did a
long
really
time
good
since
job.
I've had a waiter that I haven't want to hit. So
Yeah, that actually like gave a shit and was like he was really good.
like our
at
sodas
his
weren't quite empty by any means. Like,
job. He
they
was
were.
on it, and it
and
wasn't
he's-
dead or anything. Like it was pretty busy, but he was on it. So I was
The thing that
impressed.
got me was like, instead of just being like, do you need any, they look kind of low, do you need anything? He's like, well, I'm not sure. They look like you guys might need refills, but are you fine? Or are they just really dead? Because if it's dead, we're going to get you new one anyways.
We'll
Never
just get you
mind.
new
We're
ones.
just getting
That's
new ones.
fine.
Like, he was getting new ones. You just
Yeah.
shut up. You're getting a new soda.
It was good. It was definitely cool. And then the next day we kept seeing this sign that let you do like 3 exhibits for like $60 or something. So we went and did the Shark Reef Aquarium, which was badass. And you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see I put caged creatures of the sea. There's a video in the album for the Shark Reef Aquarium that I auto-awesomed, me and Google working together, auto-awesoming all this video stuff. That's kind of cool. And there's a bunch of pictures in there of like awesome glowy jellyfish and everything.
Those are awesome photos.
And then we did the Circus Adventure Dome theme park. And we did the New York, where we bought a day pass for that so we could ride. And I noticed, and
We had a
talked
very
about-
VIP status.
yeah, we talked about this a little bit, that, having these wristbands, there's a certain level of VIP-ness that goes along with it. And it lets you have these wristbands, you can just keep riding. And there's this like special path for people that, display such high VIP-ness in their stature and their gait. And that was pretty much us. So that was badass. And then
Except for your
We
little itch and twitch with the water cooler. I mean, you were having a little bit of a problem.
yeah, it's hard to see a water cooler look so dirty and just not want to like tell them to clean it or like offer them to clean it myself. But that's fine. I do want to talk about we rode enough of the same roller coasters to where we started to experience a tolerance, which is weird because like drugs is the only other thing that, and I guess cigarettes, like if you smoke for a while, you don't get that buzz anymore because you have a tolerance. or
Alcohol,
whatever, but-
it'll happen with alcohol too.
yeah. Anything like that in your brain that's exciting you, giving you that excite pleasure sensor spot, just like kicking the fucking balls. It's gonna, over time, you're gonna have to kick it in the balls harder. And it was weird because I've never really experienced that going to like bigger theme parks where there's a bunch of roller coasters and they're all different and all that. And usually there's lines long, so you don't have time to ride them enough to where you get this tolerance built up. But like we started riding this one, it was like the El Loco, and then they had like some canyon river, some shit. And one of them had like this nice 90-degree drop. And the first few times it was like, oh fuck. Whee! Like, but the more we rode them, the more like this tolerance built up.
Yeah, you were just like ready,
I
set,
think I'm-
and 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, like
Woo!
it's not-
You knew exactly what this was.
yeah, it's just not as fun. I mean, it was still fun, but it wasn't like giving me that buzz anymore, that high, that rush. So I was
Well,
like,
this
all
is
right.
like the 13th time that I've got to ride this ride.
Yeah, there were like two. I mean, we rode a bunch of other shit, but like there were two we kept like wanting to ride, and they were the two coasters.
No, I'm,
But-
I'm talking about the little fuckheaded kid.
what?
The little kid every time on the New York, like so
Oh, yeah.
loud.
There's this like
I've
little kid
ridden
who-
this one like
I have
12.
12. My friend have ridden this one 12 times. This will be our 13th time. How many times have you ridden it? And like, I wanted so bad to just tell him that like the only reason he's doing that is because his
because you
dad's
got to do
trying
it for free too. Yeah,
Right, yeah. Because his dad's just banging hooker in the fucking hotel room. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Harrison might go ride the goddamn roller coaster. Like, don't come back until you see daddy's tie is not on the fucking front door, you know?
He kept checking his
Just-
phone, so
Yeah,
probably
right? Like,
really what
"Hey,
dad meant was,
I've ridden it 18 times. Can I come back now?
I'll
Yeah,
text
yeah.
you when you
Did I
can
text
come
you?
back.
Did I text you? No. But there was a gentleman there that was one of the not security guards, but I guess just like one of the workers there, and he was pretty entertaining. He knew
They
about
all
the
were.
Chem Dog. She was rocking the Chem Dog hoodie. He knew all about the Chem Dog. He didn't think we did. He's like,
What do you know about that?"
What do you crackers know about the Chem Dog? It's like, dude, we're from Montana. We invented the Chem Dog. What you know about the Chem Dog? We've had medical since 04, been growing mad Chem Dog since at least 99. I mean,
Instead of telling us what he knows, what he decided
yeah,
was,
no, I
I'm
know.
moving my whole family on up to Montana, and I'm getting all medical costs. My Grammy, my great Grammy, my sisters,
That's
my
so good.
uncles. Like he's like, they all gonna have a reason. They're gonna get one.
fuck yeah, cards for everybody. And then like his little buddy kept coming by. He was like messing with the radio, like calling his black up and everything. It was a good time. It was very entertaining while we were waiting for the front seat of the coaster. Because after a while, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but sitting in the front seat is like shooting up drugs. And sometimes like after you're riding in the middle, let's say you're snorting drugs or smoking or whatever,
Oh God.
after a while you just got to sit in the front. And like there you see this because there will be empty spaces in the middle and the back, and there will be a line for the front. People are like, nah man, I can't even fuck with that middle back shit. I got a tolerance.
Some people like the back, and some people like the front. Like a lot of they just don't
But
like to
there was
be in the middle.
always a line in the front.
That there was.
Always. Which is kind of, it shows that like that's where the addiction is really so strong. Got to sit in the front. Also learned that it takes about 180 credits to beat Ghost Recon at the arcade. So I'm pretty sure I put like 20 or 40 bucks on that card to get the many credits, and that's all I played. It was terrible. And then,
You did two $20 cards, so that took $20.
yeah, okay. So I don't feel too bad. It's still cheaper than buying it, I guess. And it had the gun and shit. Like I fucked that shit up.
You did.
Took a bunch of credits, but I fucked that shit up.
I played a lot of skee ball.
I felt like too, it was funny because I felt like I'd really like given my all at a level, and finally it's like level, like you beat it and everything, and like kind of step back and take a breath and like look around to watch all of these people watching me just be a fucking badass at this game. And there's nobody there watching. Every time I looked around, it was just me. I'm like, oh, all right, well, next level. It was fun though. It was nice to like just not have to work and cover shit or drive somebody around and do that stuff. It was nice to just shoot
do
a
what
bunch of
you're doing and
terrorists.
just
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just want to shoot a bunch of terrorists, unwind, blow off a little steam, maybe play a little doodle jump, ride the coaster a couple more times.
threw some balls. I played a lot of skee ball.
Got fired from work, so that's pretty sweet. I was gonna put in my 2 weeks as soon as I heard for sure if I got this other job or not, but that didn't happen. I do want to talk about some awesome shit I've spent money on since I've been unemployed. First of all, and this was before I knew I was unemployed, so you can kind of give this one to me. But I am now an ordained minister of the Church Flying Spaghetti Monster. So just so you all know that. We're one step closer to Jamhole Church becoming a reality. I should be receiving my my certificate of authenticity and goodwill standing in the eyes of the church of Flying Spaghetti Monster. So that's badass. The other thing, and this is interesting, it's an oatmeal Kickstarter. You guys know oatmeal. We got our roommate Bob, the Bobcats shirt, because his name's Bob. Yeah, the guy that does those comics. They started a Kickstarter for this card game. It's like, what's that?
We need a Kickstarter.
I know, we need a card game. We need someone that can draw cards. No, what's that?
Draw cards.
What's
What kind
that
of cards are
really
drawn?
popular card game that people play? It's like something about humanity. Cards Against Humanity. Is that something? I don't know. It's a card game where like each card is something different and you like kick or stab or whatever. So there's a bunch of games in this genre, and the oatmeal,
there's
you
so
know what I'm
many,
talking about?
there's so many different games like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I think
yeah.
Cards Against Humanity is the
Like,
popular one that I always
Right
think
now,
of.
Magic was the start of all
Yeah,
this.
those are kind of different though. But same idea.
It's the
yeah.
same concept.
So
it's where it
the
started.
Oatmeal did a Kickstarter for the game called Exploding Kittens. And I will tell you, see? Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that reaction? Exploding Kittens.
No.
See? It's that visceral reaction that made they reached their goal, $10,000. Okay, $10,000 for this card game. And I'm not talking shit. This is awesome. Matthew Heineman's a fucking badass. This is actually the first Kickstarter I've ever spent money on. Like I got the NSFW Exploding Kittens deck in July. We should be able to start playing. But so $10,000, 8 minutes. Kickstarter's up. Tick tock, tick tock, right? 8 minutes later, there's our whole goal. We still have 30 days left. In 7 hours, $1 million. Right? $1 million. $1 million in 7 hours. That blows my fucking mind. It's the internet. People like things that explode, right?
People
And
already
cats.
know his name.
And, well, yeah, and he's really super popular because his comics are fucking awesome. So I guess talent would be the first thing you need when trying to do a Kickstarter. But a really cool idea. And I was looking at the different decks and everything, and like it's pretty badass.
Is that where the idea guy comes in and it actually works?
Yeah, somebody sat around, took a bunch of fucking LSD one night, started just spitting out mad fucking ideas, and they actually didn't have just a bunch of idea guys. They had some make it happen people. And
what happens if you end up around some make it happen people because of being around them?
Watch out.
Another guy.
Another
has an idea guy.
That's right.
You know?
If you're the idea guy, you're gonna need to make it happen people. Some make it happen people.
You guys might stress some make it happen people out. Throw an idea off each other when you get going.
$1 million. Just like, think about that. $1 million.
Well,
In
it's
7
showing right in the
minutes.
picture. The cat's head is
Right
exploding
now?
off.
There's 76,233 backers. This is right now. Almost $3 million. With still 28
days to go.
Completely insane as far as like Kickstarters that have been. I mean, the Ouya did really well, which is kind of poop now, but like it was one of those. There's been a bunch that were just like crazy explosive. The Oculus Rift was one. The Avangant Glyph, they did a good one, but not meeting your goal in minutes. Like fucking minutes, dude. That's
you got it
insane.
done. You went to go get a soda out of the kitchen.
And came back. and was like, oh, is our
Holy
check here
shit,
yet?
our goals, man.
Oh, we still have to wait 28 days. Okay, that's cool. Let's see where it goes. So yeah, I'm excited to get my Exploding Kittens deck plus my not safe for work Exploding Kittens deck for people ages 30 and over, because that's me. You won't be able to play that one for a bit because you're not 30 or over. But we'll have the kid deck that we can all play, or that you can play with us.
I'm gonna give you. If you look on those photos through that whole thing, there's a big "fuck you" photo. There's one for him. That was for him too, actually.
Thanks. Look at this. I need to. Can we screen share? Will this? I need you all to see.
Are you seeing this?
Okay, so boom, right? So much monies. And then yeah, Here's how it works. You put the cards on the table and take turns drawing them. If you draw a kitten card, you explode. If you explode, you die and you're out of the game, which is a bad thing. Unless you play a defuse card, which can defuse the kitten using things like laser pointers and catnip sandwiches.
That's exactly what it is.
That's so brilliant. It's cats and people love cats.
They do. People love cats. What do you
Also,
say?
Taco Cat, Rainbow Ralphing Cat, Overweight Bikini Cat, and Hairy Potato Cat. Oh, this is
Which
this
we
is
can do because we reached
completely
one goal
badass.
already. Times.
Yeah. So I almost dropped $100 on the collector's one, but I thought being unemployed, I should maybe be a little more frugal than that. But yeah, I love the oatmeal, and I love that they just completely destroyed Kickstarter with all of this with
That
a card game about
was-
exploding kittens. If that's not the Washington Redskins fuck you team from South Park doing a Kickstarter, like I don't know what is. That's pretty brilliant. So are you excited to play? I'm kind of excited to play.
I don't know if I am or not.
Really?
I got into the Magic, and
Yeah, I did that when I was way younger.
right, but I'm one of those people that
I feel like it's different. This seems like more of a drinking game, kind of, than Magic is like. No? You don't think so?
no,
Exploding kittens. Come on.
it's you're a fucking wizard exploding other shit. It's the same concept. It's
But
all
you have to deal with mana and all that. This is literally like Russian roulette where you just draw a card and if it's a kitten, you explode. Like that's
unless you play this card. Is that not what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, so your Pokemon, your Yagyu, whatever, all that.
Yeah. Oh, so can I tell you, when we got back from this magical, awesome trip, there was a bunch of snow. Like it dumped. Probably missed some
Oh,
of
yeah.
the best snowboarding of the season, all season in that.
Well,
storm
if
there.
they could have got
Except
out
for
of the
last
driveway, because
Right.
while we were gone, they couldn't get
Except
out of the
that-
driveway
yeah.
anyway. So
you couldn't because of how much snow was there. And so we come back and there's a bunch of snow on the studio. And I'm in there the next day after this. We had a little party, a little welcome back Cotter party, and we filmed snow and the making of snow. And there's a bunch of pictures also in an album. I will put links to all of this bullshit to jamhole.com, the show notes. Okay. So I'm in the studio, happy to be home, just typing up a storm, getting some articles written, and I'm jamming Infected Mushroom because April 23rd in Seattle is an Infected Mushroom animatronic show that we're all going to. If you want to go to that, you should definitely go to that. It's in Seattle. It's April 23rd.
that barely
There's
slid
still
under the
tickets.
radar.
Anyway, I'm listening to it and I hear this like sound like water kind of dripping. I think it's just the music because, you know, they have that in music sometimes. And it goes to the next track and I still hear it. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I turn around and there's like literally water like spraying out of the walls, like in this all bubbled up spot. And I just like freaked the fuck out. Like there's electronics, there's technology, there's everything, posters, and just it was a terrible, terrible time for that to happen.
It was
And,
a fucking horrible time for that to happen.
BJ
by the
comes
way,
out and just like
Yeah.
slaps me almost and starts like disconnecting shit and keeping it all nice and organized. And she fucking handled that shit like a boss. I was kind of running around screaming. So I appreciate you.
and that's why my shit doesn't get taken care of, because that's what happens
That's right.
every time.
Because you're taking care of my shit and
Somebody else.
every other buddy else's shit.
Yeah.
So now your shit's gonna get taken care of because now we're in here.
Would you like to hear the conclusion?
Yeah.
I need to prioritize my web into what needs to be taken care of. What is most important needs to be taken care of
A
first.
shrink tell you that? So you went and saw the rapist, a therapist? Because
Yes.
you had a little
Yes.
breakdown.
Fucking huge breakdown.
Sometimes when Swim does research, breakdowns happen. And when breakdowns
Dude.
happen, you just do the best you can to get through it for the time being until you can actually get some professional help from people that aren't me and my homie Bob. Sometimes we can't help And
It's not just that. There's so much.
well,
Like,
right.
and it's been being blocked off with shit like this. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to explode. And then I hear Matt, my studio's falling apart. Okay, well, I guess you're not falling apart anymore. Okay, Matt, come on, let's get this shit together. And that's why I don't deal with my problems.
And what problems are they? Do you want to talk about those problems, or do you not?
We will talk about those as I go through them on my web.
Okay.
And we
no, that's cool.
experience.
Do you need a website set up so that you can blog post for everyone to read?
Oh,
and-
fuck no.
No? That's good. I am glad that you're getting some sort of help, especially if I'm gonna have to leave. Actually, I should mention, if anybody's going to South by Southwest, I've never been to this one, but like Dilated Peoples is gonna be there, and Greaves is gonna be there, like people we've seen in shows up here.
There were a couple
It's
others.
Hopskin.
Hopskin.
Yeah, Hobson will be there. You can ask him why he thought it was a good idea to retire falsely, and then come out and be like, "Nah, I'm not really retiring. Here's a new album." Like, that's the dumbest way. I'm sorry, that's the dumbest way to build hype ever. Like, oh well, guys, hip hop's not fun anymore, so I'm
He
gonna
didn't
retire.
say it wasn't fun.
No, he kind of did. If you read the post that he made on Facebook, and I didn't even want to get into this. If you read that shit, it is pretty much like, this rap game isn't for me anymore. It's a bunch of cutthroat bullshit, which I totally agree it is. That's why you got to do it independently. And I'm going to do other things.
Maybe
I'm
he
retired.
intended
I'm
to,
out.
and then
I
was
don't
like,
know. That's bullshit.
I can't do
He
it.
took a
Gotta go
page,
back.
Had a Jay-Z's motherfucking playbook and every other fucking bullshit rapper that's ever retired in order to build hype for a new album, and then come out of retirement like the second coming of fucking Christ. Like, oh, here it is. You niggas thought I was retired, but I was making this album the whole time. Nah, I got you. Now pay me. Like, no, fuck that. It's shit. It's a shitty shit. And if I see him there, I will tell him that. Hobson, some bullshit.
Okay.
He'll probably punch me, and then I'll punch him back, and then someone will shoot him, and that would be terrible. I hope cops are more tolerant in Austin than they are in other parts of the country. Even Ant, when we were hanging around in Las Vegas, I was like, I don't know how safe I feel standing next to you, Ant, because the way cops have been shooting black people is fucking terrible. And Ant is a very large, sometimes angry black man, and he will tell you that sometimes shit gets angry.
He had a moment with us.
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes.
In the pub.
I feel like we saved his life. Walking around with a couple of crackers, a couple of whitey people. Cops like, wait, hold on. Is he robbing them? No, they're okay. Okay, he's cool. I'm totally
that
kidding.
old jumping bean of a redhead white crackers bouncing all over. It's gotta be.
Complete insanity. It's fine.
There's too much insanity to deal with. Big black guy, crazy jumping bean.
So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I feel like South by Southwest, just from what I read every year, started out as like this cool hip festival thing with music and technology, and I think like Twitter or Instagram, one of those big companies launched there one year, and ever since then it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and just it's to the point now where it's very commercialized, not like a grassroots kind of more independent thing, but like this huge, almost like CES is for this technology. Like, it's very commercialized and all that. And I feel like from what I've read, like I said, I've never been there. This will be my first time if this trip happens, but I feel like it's very commercialized, and it's going to be just a giant clusterfuck of shit. And
it's
stuff.
frozen. It's frozen.
And we're froze. That's fine. Is this still recording?
I'm sure
Are you
it's still recording.
all right? Is this fun?
This part's
As long as
going.
this is fine, I don't really give a fuck about this. This
So we can sit
freeze.
there and look at our
You can
frozen
sit and
south.
spin, you bitch ass fucking hangout on air. This
Sorry
is the
about that for you
problem.
guys, but and are we
Oh,
going again?
Yes,
We're
it's okay.
on.
It's fine. This is the problem. Trying to run everything on an all-in-one. Thejamel.com/donate. Send us money and I'll buy.
Sorry about
better
the glitch.
shit. So this was kind of interesting. I thought a gentleman in Mason City, Iowa, got in a little trouble for having a gun, right? He traded a dog, probably the family dog, for this 22, this rifle, that he intended to shoot his son with. So I guess like you don't need the dog because it was for your kid anyway. So I'm going to trade you for the deuce that I'll then go shoot my annoying child with. Do you tell that to the guy? Like, hey, like you find this on Craigslist and you're like, yeah, like, so what are you going to do with the gun? They're like, well, I'm going to shoot my kid with it. Like, do you say that? I'm curious how they realize that.
I don't know. Like, sometimes people make smart remarks.
But I feel like you could be like, no, I didn't actually say that, but you had a gun. Like, I wonder if he was like filmed saying it, because that's a pretty factual statement there. Like, he was going to trade this gun or trade this dog for this gun in order to shoot his child.
I don't know.
That's weird. That's weird. It's Florida, so I mean, I get it, but that just seems a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Speaking of weird, McDonald's has made a video in a new awesome PR move showing everybody like exactly what is in their fries that makes them so addictive. I'll put a link to this video, but here you can see we start out with potatoes and then they get turned into French fries. And you see here,
Slices.
right here is where the methamphetamine and the cocaine is added. That's not salt. Those are drugs. And that's why everybody is so addicted to them. No?
Is that your interpretation?
No, that
of
is
video?
salt. Is that salt? I'm pretty sure that's crack.
It could be.
It is revealed that there are 19 ingredients that go into these fries, from dextrose to soybean oil to crack. They had Grant Imahara from Mythbusters there, like making sure, like, are those real potatoes, Grant? They appear to be real. This one smells like crack. That's weird. Were people wondering, like, their fries? I would be more curious, like, what's in their meat. I mean, I'm sure that's been done, but like, fries is a weird thing, right? Like, it's a fucking fry. It's potato and whatever salt.
But no, I
butter.
get it. Like, I would rather have McDonald's fries,
Than,
but Wendy's burgers.
than a bowl of dicks.
No,
Oh.
like if I'm gonna go, like if I'm gonna go eat fast food.
Bowl of dicks, McDonald's. Mm.
Bowl of dicks any day. But
Right.
moving on. I would rather have their fries than any other fast food fries.
Yeah.
They're
Really?
they're
I
here in
would like-
town.
I like Frugals. I'm down with Frugals fries and also Five Guys.
It's not really fast food.
Frugals is. I'd rather have Sonic fries.
I've never been to a fucking Sonic, so I can't make a comparison to that.
Well,
And
what
I
the
do
fuck?
like Hardee's fries. Way
Yeah,
better.
Hardee's is kind of Sonic-ish. It's more Carl's Jr.-y.
It is Carl's Jr. It was kind of sold out to them. And somehow, luckily enough, here in Montana, they still call them Hardee's.
I remember.
Yes, I was
Western bacon
working for them at the
cheeseburgers.
time.
Nice.
Yes.
I would
No,
have totally hit all over on you if I saw you working there when I was ordering.
I was
food.
single back then.
This Swiss company is in business. Not
I was
like,
also 16.
well, not a Kickstarter or anything, but if let's say you're having a baby, right? Let's
Okay.
say you just cannot, for the life of you, figure out a name for this fucking child. You can take $32,000, the cost of 1 year of this child's wage once he joins the workforce and figures out that life fucking sucks. For 32 grand, they promise that they will have a team of experts come up with a name that your baby will not share with anyone else in the world. Except I will start a company, and for $10,000, all right, I will pick the name of the last baby that was picked from this company so that there is, in fact, someone else in the world with that name. See what I'm saying? A little competition, right?
Yeah, it's not like they're giving it a copyright.
How can they? Right, or are they? I'll start a company that will copyright.
Your child. That's the only
Your-
name that.
I will copyright your child's name. The company called Erflogswell, Maybe you should pay somebody to come up with a better name for your company.
York.
Swell. What the fuck does that?
I don't want
I
that
guess
name
it's
in my
Swiss.
baby.
It's
Whatever that is, I don't want to name in my baby.
Swell. It's Swiss, probably. It's actually in the business of creating names for brands and products. And the director came up with the new idea for the service after he helped a friend name her child. It's like, you know what? I bet people would pay me a bunch of dumb money to do this. Fucking A. That's
And
pretty.
there's going to be those idiots out there that do. He's right.
The name, they have some guidelines, the name should be pronounceable, of course, and cannot have weird connotations, right? Like dicks enormous or something. I don't know. They also take into account the family's cultural and historical background during the search. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, I guess. I don't for $32,000. I feel like that company should be set up by the government as a test. And if you pay them to come up with a name, you get your balls cut off and you can't have kids anymore. As like, right? Like a litmus test of sorts, being like, all right,
if your child means that much, like you should be able to come up with.
You should put 32 grand in a fucking bank for his college or her college, not like spending it on coming up with a dumb name. That's what I'm saying. Like the government would be like, well, that's a red flag. No child for you now. Oh, God bless the government. So
I don't get. I just that's a kid thing. I'll never understand it though.
names. Paying for names. Could you start up a service like that for pets? Like people name their pets some dumb shit. I bet you could.
Oh yeah, like and them tell them things about you and stuff like that to come up with something that's meaningful to them.
Yeah. This is kind of awesome. In Sweden, I guess there was like this video that this company. It was like a public broadcast company. It was called SV. They were paid to make a 1-minute animated video. It's supposed to be an educational video for children, right? It featured dancing genitals, and it has actually become a hit, which is awesome. Producers say many parents found it a great way to explain about private parts to children, although some called it a little inappropriate for the program to be aimed directly right at the faces of children aged 3 to 6. Yeah. The programming director, he said that the clip also drew unexpected, in quotes, unexpected criticism from some Swedes who apparently said that portraying the penis, right? The penis with a mustache on it and a vagina that had long eyelashes, it reinforced gender stereotypes. So the director said it's not that deep, dude. It's just a dancing dick. I mean, come on. Trying to teach kids about private parts. Maybe if somebody would be parents and taught them about their own dicks and private parts, we wouldn't have to make stupid 1-minute videos that the internet then finds and sends to fucking Daniel Tosh and is like, oh, look, it's a dancing dick. But I don't know. That's cool. Sweden is on the up and ups.
Well, that's how they're teaching their kids. Like they're like 1-minute clips of this.
Yeah, is that better?
And then they put them in front of the TV.
Just not. I mean, would you rather have the Teletubbies like showing you how to use a dildo or something? I don't know. I'm not a parent. It's not for me to decide.
No.
I know what it is actually inappropriate is happening here in Mill Creek. This gentleman, he got busted by the chick's dad. She was 14, but no, listen, she said she was 19. So sorry, but he got in trouble with the father, I guess. He was accused of having a little sex on at least 6 occasions after kidding with her. So he did find out, it sounds like, because he was kind of joking around. He's like, this could really like land me in prison. But you're 19, right? Right? Okay. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. He said, quote, "You should honestly consider being an escort." Hey, when you're actually 18, you should really consider being an escort. He then arranged to meet the girl for the sex near her mother's home. Ooh, it's never a good idea. According to the papers, he picked her up at a closed elementary school. That's fucking terrible.
Very
That's
creepy.
fucking pretty inappropriate, dude.
That's red flag shit right
Red
there.
flag shit, for sure.
Taking a kid
Was
out
it
from
in a van? Did he use candy? He said, he's like, you're the only one I need, girl. You're all I need. Plus prison. 13 months in custody if convicted, which is probably nowhere near the amount of time somebody could get if they had some weed, probably like growing weed in a place. You get more than 13 months for that. But
The max he could get
two
for that
different
is
things.
4 years.
Yeah. The detective noted investigators were able to identify Holstein by a genital piercing pictured in photos his daddy found on the girl's phone. Hey, honey,
Oh.
let me see your phone. Oh my God, what is that?
Oops.
Is that a dick? $50,000 bails. It's pretty,
Distinguishing features.
right? That's like such a weird move, though. Like, I don't know. I guess like if she tricked him and was like, I'm 19, like the second he obviously found out that she wasn't, like making jokes about it, probably not the right move.
At that point, you just kind of walk away. You gotta walk away, or shit's gonna get bad.
Shit, there a dog in there? I smell a dog. We were just watching those old videos the other day, the old like Snoop Dogg videos. I think Bob was wondering like how they did the animation back then without like all these crazy computers when Snoop morphs into the dog. I don't know.
I
This is a good
don't
video.
know what you're talking about.
There a
really.
dog in there? Hold up, I'm gonna handle this. And he turns into a dog or some shit. All right.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's end with this. This is pretty fucking gross. This Australian mom like had a C-section and she actually pulled the babies out of her stomach, just like a fucking boss. Just like chewing off umbilical cords and shit. Just I am animal. No, it wasn't like that, but she did. Her name was Jerry Wolf. She was forced to make the decision to have a maternal-assisted cesarean after a complication developed at 36 weeks. She said it was a very distressing decision I had to make, and she decided that if I have to have a cesarean, it's gonna be on my terms, with my own bare hands. You just ask the doctor to just make a starting incision, and then I'm just gonna go to town on it. And you just like slowly, then
That's gross. Fucking gross.
awesome. She's all like totally.
Props to her though. Props to her.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you did that. You fucking
From to start to finish.
you did that.
Those are her kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know what? When those kids grow up and start being little bitches and bastards to her, she's gonna be like, I fucking took you out of my belly with my bare hands. I will put you back in.
You see this internet clip right here?
Yeah, that's me being a fucking beast mode on your ass.
If I could do
Twins,
this
yo.
back then, what do you think I can do now?
Twins, yo. She just reached in there and
Wow.
plucked them right out.
They look happy. They're cute.
Fucking insane. What a beast. So oh yeah, this was kind of cool. This webcam was just I'll put a link to it so you can actually see it, but it was focused on it's called the Colima volcano. It was in Mexico, and it just happened to erupt Wednesday morning. That was like yesterday morning. Yeah, and like the video, it's I mean, you can kind of see it there, but I don't know. Let's see if I can screen share. Check this out. And yeah, you can kind of see it there. But yeah, there's a video there I'll throw a link to in the show notes at thejamel.com.
It's
Kinda
there,
cool.
but it's very tiny.
The governor of the state, Mario Moreno, went to Twitter and he was like, yo, no considerable risk to the population. The wind's taking the ashes that way. So hashtag we out, chia. Peace. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it when like there's cameras everywhere. Like it's shitty because it's like we're being watched, like 1984 Big Brother shit, but it's badass when it catches things like volcanoes blowing tops off and like meteorites fucking smashing into shit, like that kind of stuff, and like crazy fucking Russian driving videos. Russia does not give a fuck when it comes to driving. Being a professional driver, I can say that maybe one day I can go there and like actually put my skills to the test. Fucking drive around the streets of Russia like shooting off an AK. People, they don't not give a fuck. How much vodka you have to drink on the daily to not give a fuck as hard as Russia does not give a fuck?
Well, I don't know that they drink anything else.
Yeah. Is that there's no water here. It's weird. It's all been turned into vodka.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Yep. Well, anything else you want to mention? Anything about anything? About anything?
About
You
anything
doing
about
well?
anything.
Are you doing well?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I'm not.
You should also see her part in the snow video jumping off the roof.
Yeah, I'm not
like a
okay
boss.
with that.
No?
They shut my shit down.
Yeah,
That is
well,
something I wanted to
somebody
talk about
said
earlier.
Shut some shit down. So I turned the lights off. I thought we were shutting some shit down, and then all of a sudden she just jumps. I'm like, I'm not even the lighting guy. I'm waiting because it's like
No, he's the
fucking-
guy that's saying I
it's
have
like-
to get off the roof.
Yeah, you should not be fucking around on the roof. You don't even know how to snowboard. You're thinking you're gonna jump off the roof with a snowboard. That it's not.
He was gonna put snowboard on. I was going off the roof with snowboard. Yes.
That was not.
That
gonna
was
be a good
I was
idea.
going off
I
the
had to
roof.
shut that shit down. There has to be a time when somebody has to say, "Look, I'm not in a frame of mind to be able to drive you to the hospital when you bust your face on this deadly juniper."
But it's not deadly to me. I
doesn't
jumped on
matter.
top of that thing 3 or 4
But
times.
you've never
just
ridden a
to do it.
snowboard. It seemed at the time like a terrible idea. I was not that guy. I had my press badge because it was 3:30 in the morning, and if the cops showed up for some reason, I had a camera.
He
and a
thought that
badge,
would make it better.
and that would have made it all better.
But
We had
no.
like the side of the house. I don't know. You guys see the picture. It was a pretty awesome.
Bunch of bullshit.
It was pretty awesome bunch of bullshit.
There is a part
right.
where you can't find me because I've been shoved underneath a Tigger into a bush.
Yeah, we did have a Tigger out there just in case.
Tiger.
A tiger.
Tiger.
That's right. So, all right. Thank you for listening. Email info@thejamel.com. Thejamel.com, of course, that's the website. Keeping it updated. Slowly cleaning up pages here and there. Changing things around a little bit. Just kind of
Might be
making
a
it
bit
nice
before
and
they see
neat.
the next one of these.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and definitely do one before South by Southwest or when I figure out what's going on. I do have a lot more time during the day now, so I'm gonna try and use my season pass to get my snowboard on. Hopefully, not hurt myself. But yeah, we'll do shows as we can here, and yeah, subscribe and all that. Stitcher, you can hear the shows. But hang out on social networks. I got an Instagram account now, instagram.com/thejamhole.
Oh my god, I noticed that.
Social media director of the site, the other site I'm working on, they recommended that I get on Instagram, which is fine because I was using TwitPic for just random shit like that, and TwitPic is no more. So then I was just using Twitter, and it would post somewhere, but it didn't give you a nice spot you could see them. It would just put them in tweets. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody, but so Instagram, it is. I fought it for as long as I thought I could, but sometimes
I still have no Twitter account. I still have no
that's
MySpace
good.
account.
You don't need those things. I'm the social media director. I will handle those things.
Why is
All
it
right.
you think you can tell me what I can and can't
You can
have?
do whatever the fuck you want. Personally, you do whatever. We'll have a poll. We'll see what people want you to do.
Oh wow.
Thanks for listening. Have a great night.